Good evening and welcome to Lower Frederick Township Board of Supervisors General Meeting for May 5th of 2026. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We had an executive session before the meeting this evening to discuss real estate. All the members of the board are here except for Supervisor Gerena, who will be joining us later on in the meeting. Our staff members, the township manager, engineer, solicitor, and our chief of police are present. Township meetings are recorded for the purpose of preparing the minutes, and the recording is destroyed after the minutes are approved. The meeting will be posted online on the Township YouTube channel. The link can be found on the Board of Supervisors page on the Township website. It is requested that all persons wishing to speak before the board shall state their name, address, and the subject matter upon which they wish to speak for the record. In the interest of facilitating the business of the board, all persons addressing the board shall be limited to 3 minutes unless time is extended by the chair for good cause. Individuals are requested to remain in their seats and to respect when other persons are speaking. The Board of Supervisors will provide a reasonable opportunity for citizens to comment on any non-agenda items after all agenda items have been addressed, but prior to the adjournment of the public meeting. Beginning our meeting this evening, we have, our special guest, Aileen Johnson, the branch manager for the Perkiomen Valley Library in Schwenksville.
It's green? It's green. Okay. Eileen Johnson, branch manager, Perkiomen Valley Library. A little higher? Better? Okay. It's always techie when I come here. The library has been very busy. It's the first time I've been here since we actually printed our 2025 annual report. And the coolest thing on that report is that the circulation is over 110,000, which is a lot. Last year I was excited because we got over 105,000. The year before that, we got just over 100. Like, this is so cool. We're going up. With construction, expect that number next year to be really low because the only thing we can do at the Borough Hall, which is really nice, Schwenksville is giving us 10 hours public to share. People can check out things by going online, requesting them, and asking for delivery to the borough, and then we can circulate them from there. They can pick up anything that they normally would at our place, except there's no browsing experience. We only have the items for pickup. We have Lucky Day books. We have our museum passes and the hotspots. Those are the only services available directly. We can do a lot of things online, helping people pick their books, request their books, things like that. Lots of fun. Everything in our collection is literally dead in the water. Out in the wild of Montgomery County, we still have about 130, 140 of our items that are still in circulation. Because when we shut down, everything was made unavailable and unholdable. Because if people try to hold things, I don't know where they are. We've got things on shelves that are wrapped in plastic. I've got things in boxes. So I have no idea where my collection is. I would never find anything requested for my building. So that's a long story, but our stuff's not available. But you can still get a lot of really cool stuff. We are actively planning to do lots of activities outside of the library, because we do not have our own facility to conduct them in, and very generously, Lower Frederick is letting us come on June 11th to do a writing program. So that's really cool that municipalities are allowing us to use space to do programs. We've done a couple of history programs. Our youth services coordinator's gone down the skip back and done Turtle Days. She went to the Resiliency Center, had an event, she went there. So we're planning a lot of things for the summer. A lot of things are coming on. I already sent our notification out of asking for the parks for their park stories. So Cole Park will have 2 stories. You're the only community that asked for 2, which is nice. But we'll be there July 2nd and August 13th. So it'll be nice. Come bring the kids out. They can enjoy the park. The fun I like about this is we get families from other communities to come check out what you guys have. So it's always nice to meet someplace that they can meet other kids and have lots of fun. So any questions at the moment?
I know it's probably early days, but Is your original estimate of the completion of your construction project still accurate? It's going to be even
No.
longer.
No, they found things that were a problem and they had to deal with them.
Of course.
So it'll be.
Longer.
They originally said the middle of July, which I realized when they told me the date, I said no. It's end of summer, but summer ends in September, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a sewer problem we knew about and a sewer problem we didn't know about. We had the asbestos to do. We have a water issue in the building that when they did the previous construction that supported the wall and kept our building actually standing, we asked the contractor to remove steps to a door that's no longer used. He removed the steps, he didn't move the foundation. So all of that moisture comes through the ground, went right in the building. So we're getting that alleviated as well, so it just adds extra. We'll get there eventually.
Okay, thank you. And I'm assuming that you're still open to accept donations from the public who appreciate the
Monetary
library.
donations only. We have no place to store anything physical. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Okay, next is our Ready Monco implementation demonstration.
Thank you. So, look, as the chief, one of my responsibilities is to provide the information to our residents and community stakeholders in a timely and effective manner. So, working with the township manager, the emergency management office, Officer Bacon, who's the appointed coordinator, he's here also, Public Works Department, it was evident to all of us that the Ready Monco program would allow important township matters to be delivered in a timely manner, in addition to the township Facebook page and the township website, which is the current delivery systems. Matters such as snow emergencies, road closures, paving notification, burn bans, et cetera, are just some of the examples that can be delivered through this system. So this evening, on behalf of the emergency management and police department, we're asking that the board give the authorization to start implementing the use of the Ready Monco. All the staff already went through the training, so effectively, if you guys give us the permission to start using it, I know later in the business section, there's a policy draft regarding what we can and can't use for it, which you guys will hopefully be approving as well. But with the system and the training that's already occurred, we effectively could put this into use starting tomorrow for first business day. So Officer Bacon put a slideshow together, just as kind of some of the overview. And then,
Thank you, Chief. Madam Chairman, members of the board. As the Chief already mentioned, the Ready Monco system is the adopted emergency alert system for Montgomery County. It's run on the back of an app called Everbridge. It has been in existence since 2015.
I apologize, but our note taker isn't here, so she asked if we could ask people to speak into the microphone.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
moving back and forth. It's going to make
Is
it
that better?
harder. If you could just stay in front of the microphone.
Certainly.
I'm sorry, but thank you.
So it primarily is used to notify subscribers, as the Chief mentioned, about urgent or important information, like he had already mentioned, fires, floods, natural disasters, traffic incidents, things like that. You'll be surprised to know that we already have 3,000 subscribers currently in our region already. The interesting thing, slide please. It's free. It's managed by the Department of Public Safety, and you can get alerts via text, a phone call for voice for those who are impaired, email, and the app itself. It's very, very robust. It's very reliable. It's been used, like I said, pretty extensively by the majority of the municipalities in the county. Again, same thing, severe weather, public safety incidents, road closures, utility outages, and the other interesting thing is we can use it for community notifications, community days, different events here in the township. Is the township office going to be closed? Is it going to be open? Things like that we would normally just post on social media. Now we can collectively push it out in various forms. Why it really matters to anybody? We're not relying on social media and Whisper Down the Lane anymore. It provides us real-time information. It helps everybody stay prepared, and it helps us. The more people I can say to stay away from an incident, the easier my job is. Not that I don't mind working, but I'd like to keep everybody safe. So how do you subscribe? The easiest way is you visit montgomerycountypa.gov/Ready Monco. You click sign up, you create your account. You can add your details and locations and choose how you want to receive the alerts. Now, you don't have to have just one location. If your children attend school in another municipality, you can add that municipality to your list of notifications. For example, Schwenksville Borough, where all of our kids go to elementary school. You can add all of their notifications into there. Or you have a loved one that lives, say, in Marlboro or Upper Frederick. You can get notifications from that municipality as well. We already talked about that. You can get them by text, phone calls, and emails. We already talked about that. Okay, this is the important thing. This is what I want everybody to see. Anybody at home, use your phone right now and sign up. I can't push this enough. The more people we have subscribed, the better. That way, we can really use the system to its potential. We've had, like I said, great success across the majority of the municipalities in the county use it. And I can also get instant feedback about who's responding to the messages and who's not getting them and what they're doing with that information. So on the back end, I can look and see whether or not I was successful in delivering the notifications, and we can adjust that accordingly. After you sign up, you'll get a confirmation message, and then again, the alerts will be sent based on how you set them. You can also update or unsubscribe at any time, and only the important things that you select will be sent to you. Any questions?
I have none at this time.
All right.
Just a quick one. With respect to PICO outages, are they tied right now in order to see PICO outages during, either wind events or snowstorms and so forth, is to go basically you text something to them and they send you text messages about and you can go look on some app that you can have on your, so is that tied into Ready Monco?
Yes and no. Yes, in the effect that if I am notified that there is a mass outage within the township, obviously we're going to be working within that emergency. I will put that information out, or one of the staff members will put that information out for obvious reasons. So yes.
Okay.
My question is not so much for you, but I guess for Jason and our office staff. Can we highlight this and send out the code via our own social media? So we need to get the word out to people so they can sign up.
Absolutely. That was
Okay.
one of the things, if the board, and, I don't need a vote, but if the consensus is to move forward, that is why we have the draft resolution on how to, which you don't necessarily need to adopt, but we know it's coming, but we can still roll this out. And
You can put it on our webpage and on Facebook. That'd be great.
And the newsletter.
Okay.
Just one other question.
Yes, sir.
If I remember, there's like a Ready Bucks and a Ready Chester, and
Yes.
so it actually extends beyond the county. I don't know whether they're tied together or not, though.
It's on the same platform.
Okay.
Everyone calls it something different. Like
Okay.
you said, there's Ready Delco, Ready Monco, Ready Bucks, Ready Chesco. It's all run on the same platform.
Right.
You can actually subscribe to as many of those as you want.
Okay.
You can actually run it through the app.
Oh.
Same app.
Sounds good. Thank you.
One other thing I'll add just with Supervisor Orff, it's also, if you're only subscribed for, what you have your settings, it automatically, once you're in the app, it geofences. So if there's a major incident, even if you're in Bucks County and you're not registered in Bucks County, and there's a major, you're gonna still get that alert because it's that whole geotag. And one other point that we run it. We have full control. So as Officer Bacon said, if we're aware of it, we'll push that out. So we're not relying on any third party. It's all internal. So we have, the controls of it. So we're not relying if somebody else is down or somebody else is trying to put something else out. We're able to filter it and we can push out what is deemed important, necessary, but also concise.
Okay.
Sorry, one other question. Do you have to be over 18 to sign up?
No,
So high school students can sign up?
absolutely.
Great, thanks.
Okay, are we looking to do a motion now? Do we want to do that in conjunction with the resolution, or shall we make a motion for this and do the resolution and kill two birds with one stone?
that's up to you guys. I mean,
Does anyone have an objection? Do we motion for this and then do the resolution for the policy? Okay. Okay, well, let's start with, there's a motion on the floor to approve the implementation of the Ready Monco's Public Safety Notification System. Can I get a motion?
Also move?
Supervisor Hexter makes the motion. I will make the second. All of those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. Okay, that includes our policy for the use of the Ready Monco and Township social media. Jason, what is the resolution number on this?
2026 R-10.
I'm sorry, what was that number, 10?
Dash 10.
10. Okay. Do you mind if I read your comment? Okay. The proposed resolution establishes a formal policy for how Lower Frederick Township uses social media and coordinates with Montgomery County's Ready Monco system to communicate with residents for emergency and non-emergency information. It designates the township manager as the authority over all township communications, reinforces Ready Monco as the primary source for emergency alerts, and clarifies the township platforms are used to share and enhance those alerts while also using local context. The policy also outlines that the township can and cannot, what the township can and cannot post for non-emergency communications. Overall, it formalizes current practices regarding social media posts, strengthens coordination with the county and emergency services, and provides how the township can provide clear, consistent, and reliable communication to residents, whether it's for an emergency situation or notice for non-emergency events or information. Does anyone have any questions on the draft policy resolution for the township social media?
Yes.
Go ahead, Peter.
Jason, is this our policy? Is this something given to us by the Monco? But who prepared it? Okay.
Did you want to look at this, Peter?
There might be things I'd want to add to it or discuss with Jason about it.
Okay.
But if you can adopt it now, we always can make changes later.
Well, we can move forward with it. You can take a look at it. If you see anything that stands out, then we can revisit it. Is that okay? Does anyone have any questions? Any comments? No, I think it's just the cursor. I've done it. Okay, so the motion before us in connection with the policy is the motion to adopt Resolution 2026 R10, establishing the policy for the use of township social media and coordination with the Montgomery County Ready Monco alert system. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Supervisor Sachs makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Supervisor Orff makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And Jason, just make sure that Peter gets this and, okay, thank you very much. Okay, administrative actions, we have meeting minutes for March 3rd, March 24th, and April 7th. Does anyone have any questions regarding the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Go ahead, Peter.
Regarding the vote on the 225 Big Road conditional use,
That was April 7th?
yes.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I just copied the one page. Yeah, April 7th. In a motion, there's a typo and it needs to be fixed.
That may already have been fixed. What page is it on?
It's on page 4,
So towards the end?
so,
Do you know what's the paragraph?
yeah, it's the motion. Motion to approve the requested conditional use conditioned upon applicant applying and obtaining all necessary approvals from the Township Zoning Hearing Board. Actually, what it is I believe it was going to comply with all the conditions of the Zoning Hearing Board, removing all walls of the plan, as all will not be part of this project. That's correct. And nothing within 24 months of the decision. That's the typo. It was, they had to obtain land development approval within 24 months of the decision.
Okay,
And applicant proceeding with insubstantial compliance with the information provided during the hearing. Now, I can provide the appropriate language after the fact to have this corrected.
I'm okay with just approving the March 3rd and the March 24th, and we can move those meeting minutes to the
Okay.
next meeting. I'm fine with
So,
that.
so what we can do is we can approve it with the stipulation that Solicitor Nelson will provide corrected language, and that way we don't have to, he can just provide the language to Jason, and we can move on. We've done that before.
Okay, that's fine.
We just have a condition.
Okay, so the motion before us is to approve the meeting minutes for March 3rd, March 24th, and April 7th, with a caveat that Peter will provide the correct language to Jason for the Big Road conditional use. Is there a motion?
Also move.
Supervisor Hexter makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Supervisor Orff makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Up next is our treasurer's report. Jason?
Okay, so this is through April 2026. The main highlight for the month was that our new treasurer, Patricia Rotondi, started on last Monday, 4/27. Through April 30th, the general fund income is $151,412, outperforming the budget by $205,000. It's over budget by 30%, or $251,000, primarily for the real estate, which is $210,000 over budget. Our weakest performer is earned income tax, which is 2%, or $6,600 under budget. We've received, for year to date, we've received 42.8% of our annual revenue. Expenses were under budget by 2%, or $12,000. The key drivers for that, as far as over budget, would be contracted services, engineerings, repair and maintenance, building, police insurance, health, real estate, fire and ambulance payments, consultant building zoning, legal planning zoning, and contracted mowing. We are seeing savings in legal services, wages across the board, and public works, health insurance. Our year-to-date, we've spent 32.2% of our annual expense. Capital fund has not changed dramatically from last month, other than we did buy the trailer from Upper Salford. That net income is negative $19,659, which is $13,000 over budget. Revenue-wise, we're at $32,302, which is 686.2% over budget. This is for fundraiser donations, interest, our insurance payment that we received for the sign, and sale of equipment. And expenses, we've finished the month at $51,962. Actually, that number's not right. Oh, yep, I apologize. We only spent 45. Never mind. $51,962, which is 404% over budget. That's for the police vehicle, trailer, and the park and rec fundraiser expense. Sewer fund, end of the month at net income of $273,367, which is $32,000 over budget. Overall revenue, 1.5%, or $66,869 over budget. Our sewer rent, sewer charges were 0.7%, or $2,960 under budget. And we received a lien payment, $4,000 earlier in the year, which was not budgeted for. Expenses were 12%, or $25,000 under budget. We are on or under budget for most line items so far in the year, with the exception of sewer engineering. Year to date, we've received 43.2% of revenue, 16.3% of expenses spent. Sewer capital, net income of $27,000, which is $24,000 over budget. That primary revenue, or revenue, is $27,772. That's primarily for sewer connection, tap-in fees, and interest. Liquid fuels were a net income of negative $45,573, which is under budget by $10,000. Revenue, we're at $14,621, which is $944 over budget. And our expenses year-to-date are $60,194, which is $9,372 under budget. That's for road salt, our final 2021 F-550 payment, and the pre-chip seal repair work. Year-to-date, we received 8.1% of our revenue, and we spent 12.4% of expenses. And then open space, net income of $36,000, exceeding budget by $5,618. Revenue, we're at $36,344, which is $3,200 over budget. And expenses so far, just for EIT commission, Available funds is $419,968, which excludes the current federal Highlands grant. Year-to-date, we received 29.5% of revenue and spent 0.1% of expenses. Any questions?
Can you please explain what negative income is?
Negative net income?
Negative income.
That's when you spend more than you bring in.
Is there another term for that that's more explanatory? I mean, maybe for the future, I'm just asking.
Deficit?
Yeah, I think negative income is confusing. That's all I have. Thanks.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. I'm going to read off our fund balances, or did you already read these off? I don't believe you did. Okay, our fund balances, general fund, $965,560. General capital fund is $479,179. The hydrant fund is $17,983. Open space fund, $392,714. The CD for the open space is $107,354. The CD for the general fund is $1,404,670. Liquid fuels, $429,240. Developer escrows, $434,505. The sewer fund is $400,399. The sewer fund escrow is $53,851. Sewer capital fund is $481,971. And the CD for the sewer fund is $214,709. We'll move on to the payment of the bills for March 31st to April 29th of 2026. The payment of $186,559.66 from the general fund, $34,524.13 from the sewer fund, $5,500 from the general capital fund, and $16,296.26 from liquid fuels. We're going to motion to pay the bills for the general fund, the sewer fund, and the general capital. Can I get a motion to pay those bills?
I'll make a motion.
Supervisor Sachs makes the motion to pay those bills. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Supervisor Orff makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The liquid fuels fund,
I will recuse myself from that.
Supervisor Sachs is recusing himself. Is there a motion to pay the bills for liquid fuels in the amount of $16,296.26? I will make that motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Supervisor Hexter makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Next up is our
I
professional.
just have one question for our manager. When is our next loan payment due for the sewer plant?
It's going to be either the end of this month or the beginning of June. I believe we usually pay it at the end of May.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't believe the prior motion passed unanimously because I believe Mr. Sachs recused himself. Just make that clear.
Thank you for that correction. Okay.
So do you want to state that?
That's more for the minute taking.
I got 3-0.
The vote was 3 in favor and 1 recusal.
Thank you, Marla. Professional and staff reports. First up is our engineers report. Carol.
Thank you. So base repairs and chip seal pavement preservation are the first thing on my report. Pavement repairs were completed for the roads that are to be sealed. Chip seal work is tentatively scheduled for May 13th. So signs will be posted this week in advance of work. I provided a list of roads to be sealed at the end of my report in case anybody's memory has failed on that issue, and I'd be happy to repeat them if somebody wants me to. Bavington Road pavement repairs, Sachs & Sons was awarded the contract for Bavington Road, the pavement repairs and cross pipe replacement. A pre-construction meeting will be held in coming weeks. Creekside Way field survey was gathered in March, and drafting of base plan is in the queue. At Farmview Estates, Homeview construction continues. Accessible playground facilities have been installed and fenced. At Melbourne Hill, the the construction of Noah Way was recently completed, the pavement and the curbs. The Artisan Project, or the Landis Tract, a review letter was issued on April 10th regarding the status of the plan set. An estimate was reviewed regarding financial security for improvements and a recommendation made. Revised plans were shared with us just yesterday and will be reviewed this month. 225 Big Road, or Gentera, as just mentioned, when reviewing the meeting minutes, a conditional use application was approved. A request for zoning variance for steep slope disturbance was also granted, so we're awaiting submission of revised plans. I'm pleased to say with the Lechmar project at 1467 Gravel Pike, the driveway and parking area have been paved, and that owner is making progress towards completing the land development project. 219 Fulmer Road, a conditional use application was approved last week for disturbance of steep slopes, and we're awaiting submission of stormwater management plans and the force main design for that project. At 115 Second Avenue, this was the subdivision of an existing undeveloped parcel along the undedicated portion of Second Avenue. They provided an extension on that subdivision to May 30th for consideration of their plan. They still need to resolve zoning issues based on the plan that we reviewed. If no other extension is received, the board will need to act on the plan at your May workshop meeting. 104 Delphi Road is a two-lot subdivision on a 33-acre property where they propose one new home, and that application was discussed at the March Planning Commission meeting. And finally, Saks at 8 Big Road. This was a sketch plan reviewed by our office and discussed at the April meeting of the Township Planning Commission. Those are all the items in my report that don't otherwise appear on the agenda this evening, excepting individual lot grading permits.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Carol? Okay, seeing none, we can move on to our next report from the solicitor.
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Township staff reports. Chief?
Thank you. For April 2026, the calls for service, we had 413. We conducted 70 traffic stops, and 52 traffic citations were issued for various motor vehicle code violations. Police Department participated in National Drug Take Back Day as a result of the medication disposal boxes that's in the lobby of the admin office and downstairs. 27 pounds of unused or expired medication was submitted for disposal. Members of the Police Department attended training for the county-wide DNA program initiative. Purpose of this program is to use DNA testing and the results to further prosecute criminal activity throughout Montgomery County. Member of the Police Department attended training at the Montgomery County Coroner's Office regarding death investigations. This member also had the opportunity to observe an autopsy in person. Members of the Police Department attended critical incident response training. This training emphasized officer response in safe, calm, and methodical manners. The curriculum included topics such as critical incident decision-making, de-escalation techniques, barricaded suspects, and fleeing suspect containment and apprehension. 2 members of the Police Department attended the Montgomery County Drug Task Force training. These members were sworn in as new members of the countywide Drug Task Force unit. These members will now be the lead investigators for drug-related incidents and investigations in Lower Frederick Township and our surrounding communities. Our investigation with Pennsylvania State Police and the Secret Service is still ongoing at this time. In the packet provided to the board were several news articles for some of the highlights of what arrests we had and incidents we had over the previous month. And again, I'll just remind everyone that social media is not always true. If anyone has a specific concern, please reach out to any member of the police department, and your concern will remain confidential in nature. And that is my report. I'll take any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you, Chief. Does anyone have any questions for Chief? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on next, Fire Company. CJ?
Charles Jack, Fire Chief, Lower Frederick Fire Company. For the month of April, we had 12 calls, which puts us at 74 calls for 2026. Ran 6 calls in Lower Frederick, 1 in Schwanksville, 4 in Upper Salford, and 1 in Lower Salford. For the month of April, it was 6 hours and 9 minutes between incidents. Training was 9 hours, and events, we had our cornhole tournament, which was a total of 8 hours. For training, we reviewed our new foam nozzle and inductor and hose line bail straps with the new hose that we received last month. We worked on water supply in non-hydrant areas, as well as we did get permission to run long hose lines and lays through PV Middle School West last week. And we just started a month of vehicle rescue refresher. We did have 1 working fire in Lower Frederick Township on Swamp Creek Road. There's numerous items involved and on fire. We operated for several hours between extinguishing the fire and overhaul. We did use FM 84 from Limerick as assistance for the investigation, and that's ongoing. We held our annual spring cornhole tournament. We had 21 teams, served food, beverages. We had a prize for first and second place. 3 of our members Thursday will be attending a formal meeting from Tracy Pennychuck's office at New Hanover Fire Company. Just it's on grant awareness, better, helping us apply for grants. And I had sent an email out to all of you, inviting you May 21st for a vehicle rescue demonstration at 7 p.m.
Thank you much for that invite.
Yep.
Does anyone have any questions for the fire chief?
Are we still under a burn ban?
Yes, we are under a burn ban. The fire marshal listed it for 30 days. From talking to him, he doesn't seem like he's going to lift it until that 30 days is up, and he'll reevaluate it.
Thanks. Do we have that on our website? Great, thank
We
you.
have it as well on ours.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up is, Jason, I'm going to assume you're going to handle ambulance, public works, sewer, and zoning.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so for Plymouth Community Ambulance, they had 18 total calls or services calls for in Lower Frederick. Their year-to-date total is 76. They had 53 in their primary coverage area for their year-to-date total of 261, and they had to perform 33 calls for service outside of their primary coverage area for a total of 128. Our Public Works Department in the month of April removed and stored spreaders and plows for the season, completed street sweeping throughout the township, managed the mowing contractors, saw cut around storm inlets, patched roads in preparation for the chip seal project, removed tire border at Coble Park, replaced the wood border at the Memorial Park, performed 8 sewer inspections, removed graffiti off the playground equipment at Coble Park, and started replacing the storm inlets on Mine Hill Road, Williams Circle, Overlook Drive, Wilson Drive, and Christina Circle. For the sewers engineers report for April, SSS did receive their payment and has transmitted the CCTV to Bob Preston, our sewer engineer. He received that on April 29th, and he will be reviewed, he will review and follow up with that report. The Melbourne Hills subdivision, they're waiting for warmer weather to apply the Parsons Epoxy FP Plus to the chimney of all PVC line manholes. And the CCTV for Melbourne Hills was received, and a follow-up report was issued on April 8th. There was several defects requiring repair. As far as the Fulmer Road sewer extension, 12 Riverside has been connected to the sanitary sewer system via gravity sanitary sewer. For the Little Road or sewer extension, Saxon Sons has set up a post-construction CCTV and mandrel testing for May 7th, Thursday, 2026. And 10th 4th Avenue has been installed, inspected, and backfilled. That's 10 4th Avenue. It's a sewer report.
Hold on, Jason, hold
Yep.
on. Did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. I don't know whether this is Carol or you'll have to follow up with Tara. Is it common or unusual for a recently laid sewer line, as is the case for Melbourne, to come up with inspection issues? Is that atypical? And what were the nature of those? Did we know?
I think I'm going to leave that to the sewer engineer since I only heard about it and wasn't directly involved in it.
Okay.
I have not commonly experienced problems like that with a brand-new sewer line, but problems occur, which is why these inspections are done.
It would be good to hear the nature of those too.
Yeah, so what I could do, Dan, is I'll provide the board with Bob's report,
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you
so you
very
guys can
much.
see.
Right.
And then if you guys have any further questions, we'll.
I have none at this time. Marla?
It's kind of, I have a different kind of question. You did say that our sewer engineer, part of the sewer budget was over budget. I'm just curious. I wonder how long it takes him to create this report every month. It's kind of a new thing. I mean, could we just maybe have the high-level stuff? It's really, 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 really detailed. I mean, maybe we could have it just, 2 or 3 bullets on the stuff we need to know about, because none of us are sewer engineers, and I don't even understand half of it. So I'm just throwing that out to the board, I guess, if that's something we could consider and, save a few bucks on his time and energy preparing these reports.
Yeah, I tend to agree. When I was looking at the bills tonight, I saw that he's charging us for every single time he does one of these.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's.
Yeah, that's his time. Okay.
Although I do think it's nice that we found out there were defects, and it would be nice to know what they
Well,
are.
that's what I mean by
No,
high level.
we're not discounting that. We're
No,
not discounting
I mean,
that.
but it's in the report, and I don't think we would have normally seen that.
But
Yes.
yeah, that's one thing that may be important, but we don't need all of it. That's what I'm saying. Maybe just high-level stuff that we need to know and we understand.
And Jason, you'll relay that to Bob for us, correct? Thank you very much.
Just one point, I don't think he's writing the entire thing every month.
No, I don't think so
He's
either.
just adding stuff to it.
Right.
So, I'm sure it costs a lot for him to prepare the first one, but then after that, it's just kind of maintaining it, which should be less.
I agree.
Again, I'm just speaking for myself, but not being an engineer, I would just like the high-level stuff, so things that we need to know about and worry about. Anyway.
Continue, Jason, go ahead.
Great. So the zoning report for April 2026, they received 3 building and 7 zoning permits for a total of 10. They approved 6 building and 7 zoning permits for a total of 13. 6 building and 4 zoning permits for a total of 10 were completed in the month of April. We did issue 18 burn permits, obviously. I do believe we've had 1 violator, Chief, in the burn ban.
Yeah, one, and that property owner was cited accordingly.
Yes. So those are all obviously put on hold, and we do only do those a month at a time. We don't let anyone extend past the next month when we issue those 4 in case there is a burn ban placed. We had 8 resale UNOs, 1 home occupation permit, 1 solicitation permit, and 3 pavilion rentals, and we received 14 pumping reports in the month of April.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on the zoning report? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our boards and commissions reports. Is there someone for the EAC? Diane?
Sorry, Diane, you got here a little bit late, but our note taker's not here, so please speak into the microphone clearly, and I know you have a soft voice, so she can do the minutes.
Okay. My husband doesn't think it's soft all the time. Okay, we met on April 14th, the EAC. We discussed our lighting ordinance that we are producing for the Planning Commission. The Pennsylvania Outdoor Lighting Council has a very good model that we'll probably go with, and we'll be presenting that to Jason for him to then send to them before their next Planning Commission meeting. Also, we are really raring to go for our Mother Earth Day event, which is this Saturday. There's going to be lots of fun things to do, some giveaways. I know Katie will have more to talk about that. And for our Did You Know, it's a Penn State Extension link about using common weeds in your flower gardens or in your yards, and it focuses on dandelions and violets. They're early blooming, which the early pollinators really need. And they usually just grow for free, and you don't even have to get seeds. So, okay, thanks very much. Any questions?
I have none. Does anybody have questions for Diane? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Diane. Next, the Open Space Committee.
I guess I'll field that. Most of our discussions at the Open Space Committee focused in on Mother Earth Day, I guess it's being called. And the the setup we're going to have and the materials that we're going to have in order to inform the public, and also the letter that we plan to, hopefully the board will permit us to mail out to residents.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Next is the Park and Rec Board. I didn't even see you. Were you hiding in the back?
I was, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I'm short, so that doesn't help. Okay, so May is a big month for us. We have 2 big events, and we are looking for everybody's participation in promoting this. This includes you guys. So we have Love Your Mother Earth Day on May 9th. That's this Saturday. We're going to be having a morning bird walk at 8 a.m. at Cuddy Park, and Phil Whitmer from Birdtown is going to be leading it. Then the festival begins at 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock at Village Center Park. We're going to be having a lot of activities. You can bring your plastic bags to recycle. There's some information online about what can be recycled. And then we're also going to be having a writing utensil recycling. So your old highlighters, your old pens, your old pencils, all of that. And that's also outlined on one of our flyers. We're going to be having some kids' nature activities, and also adults. We're going to be doing some bird nesting balls and just some Mother's Day activities as well. Open space, you guys heard they're going to be there. EAC is going to be there. Birdtown's going to be there. The park board's going to be there. And we'll have a plant sale, and we'll be selling book bouquets. And then one of the big things is you can come and purchase your prom tickets. And that, one other item before we jump into the prom, Rita's is going to be donating 10% of their proceeds during the festival. So we're going to be encouraging folks to go over to Rita's as well. Any questions for Love Your Mother Earth Day? Okay, I'll move on to the prom. May 30th, we're going to be having a prom, an adult prom from 7 to 11 at Bella Cucina. It's a 21 plus, and it's going to be a formal event if you would like to come dressed in prom attire. You are required to get a ticket, and if you need a ticket, you can contact the park board. Myself, Janice, and I think Monica are also selling tickets, but your big thing is contact the park board. Let's see. It's going to be a fundraiser for park improvements. The tickets are $50 per person, and $20 of that is going to go to the park boards for park improvements. We're going to have a live DJ. There's going to be some photo ops. We're going to crown a prom king and queen, and you can get corsages ahead of time as well. We'll have some appetizers, and there's going to be a cash bar. There is limited parking at Bella Cucina, so we are asking that we're encouraging folks to do ride shares. So really the big thing is just we're asking you guys to help promote the events. And one piece of exciting news, we did receive a new park board application, so we're going to be asking Jason to include that on a future meeting. Any questions?
Yeah, does anyone have any questions for Katie on anything?
Yeah, Katie, and I'm not trying to bring people down, but the prom runs from 7 to 11. Our noise ordinance is from, quiet time is from 10 PM until, I forget what time in the morning. But, and there have been a number of, I guess, I can't think of a different word, complaints related to sound from Bella Cucina, especially when they do karaoke outside until 11 o'clock. So I don't know whether this is, I mean, you can run to 11, you just maybe like chill, and it might be beneficial, this is just a tidbit, it might be beneficial if somebody from the police department could review our quiet times with the management of Bella Cucina, because I received a very long email from several residents related to the sound issue.
Okay, well, we will take that back. I'll take it
Okay.
back to the group, the fundraising group, and we'll just make sure that we're all aware of it.
Yeah, and I think what you're doing is great. Don't misinterpret this request. And hopefully Chief Cass and the police would be okay with just mentioning that to the Bella Cucina folks. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to make one other comment. If people aren't able to attend, but they want to support the park board, they can always take a cash donation.
Okay, thank you, Katie. We'll move on to our regular business. First on our agenda this evening is the ordinance for the boundary line adjustment. You're good.
Yeah. This has been in front of you probably for over a year now. The ordinance has been advertised pursuant to the act. We had an initial hearing at our meeting, I think the last meeting. We had no public comments at that time. The ordinance to change the boundary line between Lower Frederick and Perkiomen Townships is now before you for adoption. If you have any questions, I can answer them, but at this time, it's been discussed so many times, I see no reason to go over it again.
Okay. So we'll make a motion this evening. The motion is to adopt ordinance 2026-01, changing a portion of the municipal boundary between Lower Frederick and Perkiomen Townships pursuant to Act 41 of 2022. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Supervisor Sachs makes the motion. I will make the second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes
Thank you.
Unanimously.
unanimously. Thank you. We have this further down on our agenda, but seeing as how the representative from PICO is here, and you were at the bottom of the list, I don't think you want to sit through the entire meeting, so we're going to move you up. Next on our agenda is the PICO request waiver for escrow for the project on Fulmer Road. Do you want to come up and speak to it? Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name's Suzanne Ryan. I'm the External Affairs Manager for PICO in Montgomery County, and I appreciate the opportunity and your consideration tonight. PICO is a public utility, typically does not pay escrows. Like Lower Frederick Township, we have been in the community for over 100 years. We have a long history, and we intend to stay in the region to ensure safe and reliable service for our customers. Our restoration work is very high quality, and we don't have any issues with that in my history with the company. And I'm sorry, I'm also here as a point of contact, right? We're not going anywhere, unlike some other contractors that come in and developers and they leave. We're here in the community. We're going to continue to have a strong presence. We've been a good community partner throughout Montgomery County and the Philadelphia region. If you have any issues or concerns, we're here and available to talk to you. And we also guarantee our paving restoration work. So if there should be any issues, we would come out and we would fix that. In addition, in 2019, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court did make a ruling that municipalities are not permitted to charge fees that would be uneven across municipalities, which could be borne by ratepayers. So in respect to that, PICO would request that Lower Frederick Township consider our relationship and our standing in the community and the Supreme Court ruling and not impose the escrow fee on PICO for its work.
Does anyone have any questions for Suzanne?
Hi, I just have a question not related to the escrow, but while you're here, I'm going to ask you if that's okay.
Sure.
Is there any charge to the residents who will now have access to the gas line to get connected?
So if a customer wants to connect to gas service, there is generally a fee. PICO does have two things that would benefit the customer. There's a revenue credit that's calculated based on the amount of natural gas they would use over a period of time against the cost for the service line, and it typically covers most of the cost. In addition, we have energy efficiency rebates available to customers for customers converting to gas from another heating source, and also if you purchase a certain energy efficiency level qualifying appliance, you can get a rebate as well, which then offsets your cost for your appliances. Now, I will say if it's a very long run for the service line or we have to extend the main, then it wouldn't be as lucrative for the customer to connect.
So, I mean, can you give us a ballpark, just if residents ask us? Is it going to be 1,000, 10,000, 25,000? What will be a ballpark?
It's just a service line is a couple $1,000s, but mostly offset by the revenue credits and then the rebates on top of it. There are situations where we have to extend the gas main, and that becomes much more costly, and we don't provide estimates on what that is. Probably 10 years ago, it was, I forget how much, a couple $100,000 a foot. It just gets very costly with excavation and labor and restoration cost.
Yeah, thank you. Just in case anyone asks, and at least we have kind of a ballpark.
We do have one other program, though. It's called the Gas Neighborhood Pilot Program. If you have a community that several people are interested, if 20% of those residents sign up and sign contracts, they can finance the cost of that with PICO over 20 years on their monthly bill. Okay. That is a very popular program, and it's still in a pilot stage, so we have limited funding approved by the PUC to do that. So I don't know if we're overly subscribed for it right now, but it is information that's on our website and may be available.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
You're welcome.
So I just wanted to clarify, is this the installation of new
We're upgrading gas.
new infrastructure? It's not the replacement of something that needs to be
Well, we
upgraded?
are replacing. This is not brand new. There is an existing gas line, and we're
okay.
upgrading it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, are there any other questions for Suzanne? Okay, seeing none.
Thank you.
I can try and wing this motion. Peter, unless you want to.
You can have at it.
Okay, thanks. All righty. So the motion before us this evening is to approve a waiver of escrows for PICO for the work being executed on Fulmer Road. Can I get a motion?
Perfect.
Also move.
Supervisor Orff makes the motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Supervisor Hexter makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Unanimously.
Okay. Next up on our agenda is the zoning hearing board application for 156 Steiner Way.
Carol, do you want to start? And I'll follow.
I'd be happy to start.
Thank you.
So the township has received an application for 156 Steiner Way, which is a lot in the Farmview development. And I reviewed that application, and upon doing so, noted 4 different zoning issues that would require the applicant to obtain relief from the zoning hearing board to move forward with these plans. The 4 zoning issues that were identified were the required pool setback, which is supposed to be 25 feet from the property boundary, and it's less than 11. Minimum setback for a proposed shed is supposed to be 5 feet, and it's shown at 3.1 feet. The maximum allowable building coverage is 20% in this zoning district, and they're proposing a total building area of 20.9%. But the most dramatic part of this is the proposed impervious area. It is tabulated on the plan as proposed to be 39.9%. The allowable impervious for this lot is 33% of lot area. So those are the 4 zoning variances that the applicant is requesting to do improvements to the property of hardscaping and a pool.
And as is normal, this is being brought in front of you to determine whether or not the township wants to take any position on this application.
So are the applicants not here with us this evening?
Is the applicant here? No.
Okay.
Excuse me. Part of the reasons for the percentages listed is to ensure that we have proper stormwater management and other things like that. Basically, I'm concerned with this zoning variance on all the counts, basically. 25-foot setback, and they're only about 9 for the back of the property to the property line. The impervious surfacing is really pretty significant. You're talking almost 40% impervious surface. And a lot of calculations went into determining what would be an appropriate amount of additional impervious they could add to the lots after the houses were placed there. So I'd like the board to consider asking our solicitor to represent a no on these requests at the zoning hearing board meeting.
Marla, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would like to add to that. So just by way of perspective, these are approximately quarter-acre lots, maybe a tiny bit more, bigger.
Yeah, it's just over 11,000 square feet, so yes.
So they're basically a quarter-acre lot, and it's a 4,000 square foot house with 2 garages and a driveway. And they're proposing to put in a swimming pool with a deck and a deck around the swimming pool, and in addition to that, a large deck off of the house and some other things on that deck. And there just is not the space in this within our ordinances to do that. And zoning hearing board is intended for hardship. There's no hardship here. I think it's just, residents want to have that, but this property is too small. Now, there is a house across the street that has a swimming pool, but they only put a swimming pool in, not all the other things. So I think this is a bit of a different case. And again, it's the impervious surface is too large, 7% over, so that leaves stormwater issues. The setbacks are all much too small. They're very close to the neighbors. They're very close to the back fence. I agree. I'd like to send our solicitor, and I'm guessing we're going to oppose this. So you're looking for what? You're looking for us to say how we feel about it?
Yeah, if you want me to go and actively oppose this, I need a formal vote.
Well, I oppose this. I don't see a hardship. If they want to put either the large deck off of their back or the swimming pool, I think that would work, but not both. So I oppose this application.
I don't know if I actually oppose the application. I would say that the applicant can build a reasonably code-compliant project if they stay within that 33% and not go to the 39, almost 49%. I mean, the work that went into calculating that 33% was done a whole lot longer before they came along and bought the house and the lot. And from what I understand, they were already aware of what our code was. I don't see hardship. I don't think it's unnecessary, and I don't think it's undue, meaning that they can still use their property. I just think that they need to become compliant and try to find a reasonable way to do this project.
So you oppose it as written, so that is if they came back and could comply, then so you oppose it as it is presented?
Correct.
Yeah, that basically, just to reiterate, I mean, that kind of aligns with my thoughts. If they wanted to redesign this plan such that it complied with setbacks and it complied with impervious surface and land coverage, yeah, of course, we'd reconsider it. But in its current state, these are significant oversteps.
I would like them to let them have their quiet enjoyment at 33% impervious. I know that sounds small and insignificant, but on the plans, I'd like to know, I wish they were here, so I could ask them why they needed a 5-foot wide gate off the back of their property into open space. It looks like they have enough other gates to access in the back. It might mean nothing at all, but that's where I'm at this point. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No, I do agree with you guys. I think that maybe if the dimensions are a little bit smaller, kind of fit in that range. I'm only speaking in more simple terms so that residents can understand as well. It's just the scale of it needs to come down a little bit.
All right, does anyone have anything else they want to add? Counter? Additional information, anyone? Okay. All right, well, the motion before us this evening, based on what I've gotten feedback from here so far, is the motion for the board to authorize the township solicitor and planning consultant to participate and monitor the zoning hearing board proceedings for this application and provide advisory comments as appropriate, and reserve all township rights.
I would actually modify that.
Please do. Go ahead.
Yeah, that a motion to authorize the township solicitor to attend a hearing to actively oppose the application as written.
Okay, and that motion will stand. And I will make that motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Supervisor Dorena makes the second. All of those in favor, say aye.
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 Oh, okay, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Peter. Next on our business agenda is the Meng Road Act 537 Special Study Authorization to advertise the public notice for 30-day comment period. Carol?
Thank you. Super. If it pleases the board, I'll give a quick overview of what the special study is for the Meng Road study area, because this has been going on a long time. So, well, as soon as I get it to cooperate, there we go. All right, so what's the study about? So in Lower Frederick Township's 2014 sewage planning, the 2014 Act 537 plan, it was determined that extension of the public sewer collection system along Meng Road was cost prohibitive. In the past decade, 3 properties on Meng Road reported failed systems. 2 of those connected to the Schwenksville Borough Authority sewer system, and 1 property constructed an individual stream discharge system. As a result of these 3 system failures, DEP directed the township to, again, reevaluate sewage disposal options. The area shaded in this slide is the special study area. We delineated this area, reviewed it with DEP. They accepted this as our special study area. There are 36 properties in the study area, and 28 of those properties have individual on-lot land-based sewage disposal systems. A licensed sewage enforcement officer inspected each of the properties in the study area that had an on-lot system for indicators of current or pending septic malfunction. So those indicators would include green or lush vegetation, surface wetness, spongy soil conditions, sewage odors, ponded water, and evidence of system overflows. No indicators of septic system malfunction were encountered by the SEO during that field inspection. We developed 6 concepts of how we could serve wastewater needs for the study area, considering the location and the topography. Each of those concepts or alternatives was evaluated. There were detailed evaluations, but for these slides, we're just going to highlight the differences that are most impactful on the decision process. So option or alternative A was continued use of on-lot systems with additional education to homeowners in the study area. Option B was a combination of low pressure and gravity sewers that would connect to the Lower Frederick Township Public Sewer System. The costs for that were around $350,000 per connected property. We looked at a low-pressure sewage connection to the Schwenksville Borough system that terminates in Mine Hill Road. That was about $270,000 cost per connected property. And there's a concern because the Schwenksville Borough Authority does have some capacity limitations for their system. We looked at a entirely low-pressure system connecting to the existing Lower Frederick Public Sewer System. That was $310,000 per connected property. Low-pressure system, well, this was a complex one. We looked at connecting low-pressure sewer for properties on Meng Road into the existing SBA system, and then redirecting some of those developments, those Lower Frederick development homes that go to SBA pump stations, to try to redirect them back to Lower Frederick to see if that got more cost effective. Went the other way, $450,000 per Meng Road connected property. And then finally, we looked at holding tanks, but those are not suitable as long-term solutions. So as a result of the evaluation, option A was selected. Option A includes mailing educational information to property owners in the study area, adding information about managing on-lot systems to your township website, and continuing the pumping every 3 years program under the sewage management ordinance that's in place today. So, owner education and regular pumping are all better than spending $3 to $9 million building sewer lines. What happens if the next system failure occurs? So we talked about 3 on-lot system failures that drove DEP to require this study, but there were also another 6 on-lot systems within this study area that were identified as problematic, and those were replaced with new on-lot systems. So thanks in part to the expansion of approved alternate systems by DEP. There's alternate systems that you can use when you don't have as good a depth to limiting zone. So because of those alternate systems today, a replacement system can often be installed when a system fails. So that's a quick overview for the study. What we're asking for tonight is for the Board of Supervisors to authorize publication of an advertisement in the Mercury, and what that advertisement does is begin the comment period. It's a 30-day comment period where the township accepts public comments on that study. The study printed copy will be available here at the township building, and we'll also be working with the staff to make sure that there's an electronic copy available for people to access online to give them a chance to review and comment on that study.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Carol? Oh, Steve, you need to come up. State your name, your address. Okay. Just make sure the mic is on, and that's for the benefit of everyone on Zoom.
Steve Shellick, 23 Mang Road, Schwenksville. Carol, may I pose a couple of questions to you? I had a long dissertation scheduled for tonight. Unfortunately, it's not viable without your presentation.
Sorry, you need to speak into the microphone.
Your presentation and finalized copy of the special study and said recommendations. But I'd like to pose one particular question to you. This has been an ongoing development, an issue for the township, and I understand the concerns of the BOS and yourself. In 2014, I do remember precisely, if my notes are correct, I had presented the potential for another option to meet, quote unquote, the DEP's recommendations. And that would have been a conveyance system, because at that point in time, 13 years ago, the DEP was focusing principally and only on conveyance systems. That means a sewer main, however it's constructed, above ground, entrenched, et cetera, et cetera. And it seemed that correspondence with Harrisburg was pretty restrictive relative to the DEP. They wanted a sewer main of some sort as the final resolution. Your engineering group came up with some potential alternatives at that time. I had submitted, I believe, for inclusion as possible consideration, a very unorthodox system that has been adopted globally, specifically designed, vetted, and utilized globally. Extremely cheap, not requiring excavation. Components of the system were quite cheap, and basically what it entailed was the establishment and utilization of a high-pressure system where the main line, of course, conforms to the topography, whether it's uphill, downhill. No excavation be required, and we do know that that is an improbability that does not even want to be approached on Meng Road. You have hydraulic issues, you have a basalt layer that, if you walk onto my property, is 12 feet deep in places. Not cost prohibitive, as your numbers have shown. You're quite correct on that. And they're within lines of projections I made a year and a half ago based on atypical construction costs within the industry relative to the original 97K assumption and the rate of inflation. Your numbers are solid. I have to give you credit for that. But I would like to reintroduce, if possible, the inclusion of the conceptual idea that I had presented at that time for maybe future submission after the BOS and yourself have the opportunity to review that particular concept as a potential. And I would hate to see us have to go in that direction, because again, it's going to place a cost burden on the homeowners within that district that may be not feasible and may end up in the result of every homeowner having to declare bankruptcy, as your numbers would indicate. Is that possible, Carol, at this time, or is it too late to revisit what I failed to continue to address? And I apologize for that.
So that would be an ideal thing for you to include in the public comment, to provide us.
And how soon would I be able to do that?
Anytime from now, over the next 30 days.
Okay, I'll work on it over the weekend.
What's that?
Would that be, I'll work on it over the weekend.
Yeah,
Would I
so
be
there's
able to
gonna be a
direct it
third-
to you or
there's-
the BOS? Because
there's gonna
I
be a-
think everybody needs to be involved.
So there's going to be a 30-day public comment window, and then we take those public comments and we are required to address them. So we are required to provide answers to the comments that are
I'll
submitted.
attempt to keep your requirements minimal.
Appreciate that.
And by the way.
So if you submit that via email, when the advertisement is placed, or you can submit it now.
Okay.
Submit it to the township. It will be shared with us along with any other comments that are received. And we will, that's a requirement of the study that we address those comments. So we look
By
forward to
the way,
receiving your comment.
Need to congratulate you and the BOS for potentially interjecting some novel revisions to the special study for review by the DEP. I've unfortunately have had to deal with the DEP in various assets over my lifetime, and they are not flexible regardless of whatever state or environmental facility you're dealing with. And that's unfortunate. Do you have a feeling as to whether the DEP has some degree of flexibility? are they being adamant? These are our stringent requirements, and there are no ifs, ands, or buts.
So we have been in communication with the planners at DEP. We have built good relationships with them
Okay,
over the years.
that's all
I'm
I need to
pleased
know.
say.
Good.
They are aware of our plan of study. They approved it. They actually reviewed our draft public advertisement because we wanted to make sure
Okay,
everything was included
let me
that they
move on. So it
required,
doesn't
so-
seem that the proposal that I made in 2014 is a necessity, in your opinion. Is that a valid statement? In other words, they're going to accept the lowest cost denominator, which I believe is item A, on your proposal? Or is that an
I think we've
unknown?
made a good argument for what we're proposing.
Okay.
And I'm anticipating that we're going to have a favorable response, but
Okay, can I move on since that's an unknown and it could be turned upside down? So that may lead us to the potential of an alternative system that is used globally. I would not concur in any shape, way, or form that that's the way to go. It may be cost prohibitive. In lieu of that particular option, something I did not, and you did not, for good reason, address, nor did the BOS, rightfully so, was a very immature technology. I could use various descriptive elements. On-site treatment system, basically diminutive package plant. You have another term for it? As in Michael Formica's recently installed system.
yes, so that's the small flow treatment facility.
Okay, small flow treatment
Or stream
facility.
discharge.
Thank you for
it
the
can also be
acronym.
called, yeah.
I've moved on from that arena over the years, so my commentary may not be appropriate, but there's some reference here. That technology has matured substantially to the point that there is the potential with appropriate placement and dispersion fields and the content of those dispersion fields on residential properties, I believe, in looking at the technical data of these systems, to meet the DEP's compliance requirements, totally. Has the DEP even mentioned that to you?
So we're working within the framework of the DEP-approved systems, so.
Yes, and I think there's
We're-
about 24, something to that effect.
So we're
Yeah.
working within the alternate systems that they've approved. And yes, when there are no other solutions available, and that's documented to DEP, then you start looking at the small flow treatment facilities.
Do you have a feeling that they
But that-
may endorse the vetted systems that they have tested at this point for Mang Road?
So.
Unknown.
We're limited to what they've approved already. And
So out of that 24 viable or potential options, you have to look at your TSS values on effluent, CBOD parameters, et cetera, and other constraints, fecal reduction, correct?
so those are the things you're going to look at if you're doing a small flow treatment facility, because you're going to have to get a permit for it, you're going to have to do sewage planning for it, you're going to have to submit annual reports on maintenance and testing data.
Okay,
So if you're going to a small
overtaken
flow
my
treatment
time.
facility, that's where you go. But again, that would be the last, sort of the last resort in the list of
Okay.
systems available.
If I'm taking too much time in this questioning session, this could be delayed for some other time and turned
You
into.
were, I appreciate your interest and your knowledge. Probably better left for public comment,
Okay, thank you.
potentially maybe even better in writing.
In my case, it would be
It would be spot on.
concise.
Yes, yes.
But I did want to thank, and I know there's a lot of effort on the part of the the BOS, your engineering, and associated committees relative to this issue. I have a feeling that there has been a lot of time spent. I have not seen the document, so I cannot concur, but I want to congratulate everybody for the effort and time to come to a potentially viable resolution to a long-term issue. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Appreciate your
Steve. I appreciate it.
And just, you may want to, when you take a look at the document, that maybe, things may become more clear when you see the actual document.
Okay, would I be able to get
Is
a
the,
copy
is the
of that
draft
tonight or
available to the
tomorrow?
public right now? Is the draft available to the public right now?
I mean,
I think after tonight, after we
Yeah, the
do the
draft has
30-day
been
comment
emailed.
period, yeah.
Becky has it, and last email I saw from her was that once she got word that the public
And then you
notice
can,
was being published, then it'll be online,
then you
so.
can request a copy. After tonight, it goes under the public
Okay.
comment period, then you can have access to it.
who do I
Come
reach
down to
out
the township building, call Becky.
Okay,
Okay.
done.
All right, thank
There will
you.
be a
Das ist
printed copy
wunderbar.
here at the
Thank you,
township.
everybody.
There will be a printed copy here at the township building that somebody can look through here at the township building, or there will be access to it over the internet so that you can download it and look at it.
Okay, what time would you recommend? I'll make it for later in the week. We'll give you a day to respond. I'm being too demanding.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you,
everybody.
Steve.
Good night.
good night. Does anyone have any other questions? Any other comments? Okay, not seeing anyone. I'm comfortable moving forward with the motion to authorize the advertisement of the public notice for the 30-day comment period for the Act 537 Meng Road Special Study dated January 5th of 2026. Can I get a motion?
Also move.
Supervisor Hexter makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Supervisor Sachs makes the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Next on our agenda is approval for stormwater O&M for 13 Kratz Road.
This is a document prepared by my office. It actually is amending an existing O&M agreement against this property to extend a previously executed agreement over some new improvements on the property. And so we're just looking for authorization to you, Noel, to sign.
Okay, so the motion before us this evening is to approve the stormwater O&M agreement for 13 Kratz Road and further authorize the chair to sign on behalf of the Board of Supervisors. Is there a motion?
Also move.
Supervisor Orff makes the motion. I will make the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Next on our agenda is ratification appointment of treasurer and assistant treasurer. So just so everyone knows, this is in response to the resignation of Bonnie Yoder as the assistant treasurer on January 2nd of 2026. The township initiated a recruitment process for a treasurer with the assistance of our HR consultant, Roseanne McGrath. I don't have enough good things to say about her. After an initial round of candidate interviews conducted by Ms. McGrath and the township manager, the board actually did some further consideration on that, and we subsequently interviewed the candidates and selected Patricia Rotundi for the position. Ms. Rotundi accepted the offer, and she began her employment last week. We're hoping to have her come in to meet everyone at the next meeting. She couldn't make it this evening. So for an agenda item, we have a motion to ratify the job offer to Patricia Rotundi as the township treasurer at the salary of $75,000 a year with a start date of April 27th, 2026, and further appoint Patricia as township treasurer and the township manager as the assistant treasurer. Are there any questions before we move with this motion?
I don't have a question. I just want to comment that she came to us with very extensive background in financial work, and she was a really good fit for the position.
Thank you, Marla. Okay, the motion stands. Can I get a motion?
I would like to make that motion.
Supervisor Jarena makes the motion. Is there a second?
I will second.
Supervisor Hexter makes the second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. There's a fire police request for Lansdale Borough, Lower Gwinnett Township, Upper Dublin Township, and Hatboro Borough. It's a tongue twister, yes. Okay, so obviously they're looking to use our fire police. For Hatboro Borough, they have a car show on Saturday, 25th.
July 25th, Skeleton Scurry 5K Run on Saturday, October 31st, the 64th Annual Holiday Parade on November 22nd. Upper Dublin, their annual triathlon, duathlon aquabike on Sunday, May 17th. Lansdowne Fairmount Fire Company 36th Annual Under the Lights Car Show on June 20th. Lower Gwynedd Annual Fireworks Display by the Kiwanis Club of Ambler on Thursday, July 2nd. So the motions before us this evening is to authorize the use of Lower Frederick Fire Company Fire Police at the request of Hatboro Borough, Upper Dublin Township, Lansdale Borough, and Lower Gwynedd for their various events. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Supervisor Sachs makes the motion. I will make the second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Next on our agenda is did we do this already? We did this already, okay. That was the Ready Monco and social media draft. I guess the next item will be the Open Space Committee request letter to residents approval. So, the Open Space Committee is planning to host a workshop by Matt Babbitt from Heritage Conservancy and would like to send personal letters to property owners with 10-plus acres. As stated in Vicky's email, Vicky is the vice chair of the Open Space Committee, Vicky Sylvester, Vicky Sylvester, yes. The letters are essentially the same, one with and one without the workshop mentioned. Okay. And the Open Space Committee has previously presented letters to residents, and the personal letters presented was at the direction of the previous board's discussion. Okay. Has everyone had an opportunity to read over the letter? Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
The only question I have is, are they going to send out both letters to different groups of homeowners? Is that the plan?
I think we're just looking at one letter. Is it specific to the Heritage Conservancy presentation?
It is, and I think the other letter would be
That's later on.
For later on, yeah. I think the
Okay, so
initial
we're just
one is,
strictly talking about the letter that's going to be sent with people with 10-plus acres for the Matt Babbitt Heritage
but
Conservancy.
the other letter would be, like, if the board accepts it, that they can roll out when they're ready to roll them out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't have any objections to the letter. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Okay. Not seeing any questions. We're looking just for consensus that we're fine with the open space letter to send out to the residents. I'm okay with that. Everyone in consensus?
Yes, I am too.
Yes?
Fine.
Okay. All right. We have two other agenda items. One is the village mixed use discussion and data center uses discussion. It was my understanding that we were waiting for information to come back from John Miklos for the village mixed use for discussion at our next work session. And the data center and data center uses discussion will also be on May 19th when Peter has an opportunity to work up the ordinance we discussed at the last meeting to be applied specifically to Lower Frederick. Does anyone have any questions?
No questions. I have a comment. So do you anticipate having that ready in the next week to 10 days?
You said we would get it the week before.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Great. I just have one comment to make on the village mixed use, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to have something that's kind of like a village green, a place where people can gather, and also I think a village green would be a great buffer in between residential areas and, commercial areas.
For 1 second, I think it's a great idea. I had mentioned at the last couple meetings that the board should probably send their ideas to Peter and John, because I've sent mine, and mine includes a village green and a pocket park. We're on the same page. And I know that Dan has sent his, and he suggested a village green.
Yeah, I did that. I just think, for the public, it may be useful for them to kind of see what direction we're going in, because we don't really have, this is our central focal point at the circle, and I think it's a tremendous opportunity for us to do it right and to have some some great open space, some mixed-use space, and to really make it a place where people can gather and ride their bikes and walk their dogs and go shopping, get their hair cut, whatever. So I just wanted to state that, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Terrific. Okay. Next up, public comment. Do we have anyone for public comment? Katie?
So I just wanted to thank Chief Cass and the police force. We had an issue with our mailbox at our property, and they came out right away and addressed it. And then also today, I think you must have speed traps on Little Road today, because I think that we saw you got 2 people. So we're very happy to see that. So thank you.
Speed enforcement, not speed traps.
Sorry, speed enforcement. My apologies.
So can we have our note taker change that for the record?
The little nuance there, yeah.
Now you're trapping.
Yeah. No quotations, okay. Okay, is there any other public comment? Is there anyone on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, we have supervisor comment.
First off, I want to apologize for being late today, but I am a parent, and I'm sorry, but my kids come first. So I did spend time celebrating something very special to my daughter. I did want to also just mention our VMU, our Village Mixed Use. That discussion was almost about to get taken off of our ordinance, waiting for these updates to occur. Thankfully, it wasn't. The reason why I would like to continue to keep this on here, and I'm making this public because I love transparency here, is to give our residents the opportunity to come in and speak up about what it is that they are looking forward to in this VMU. We're up here to speak for you. It's not for us to come up and make the decisions for you, if that makes any sense. Hope it does. That's why, again, I had asked for this to not be taken off. The only way we can understand what it is that you guys want to see here is if you guys are speaking up, at least getting on Zoom. You don't have to put your face if you don't want to. If you want to write us a note, write us a note, write us an email. We're not getting enough feedback. So if we're not getting enough feedback, I can tell you this, decisions are going to be made and they're not going to be what you want. All right?
Okay, is there any other supervisor comment?
Yeah, just to tack on to what Crystal just said, I think that's a great idea for the residents to provide input into what they would hope for the village mixed use. It's also important to note that we'll eventually have a draft document, I assume, from an aggregate document from our planner, John Miklos, and then, and you'll have a chance to comment once again on what that is. But yeah, it's any input we can get from the residents is greatly appreciated.
Okay, on that note, this meeting is adjourned.